I'll hate it. How dare it? It's so precious and like definitely something I did. What do I do with my life now? Read a different book? Could I have just asked somebody? Of course. Would I? Never. I just sat here and read a whole book. It's a weird choice sometimes. I'm sorry, but I'm calling bullshit. So I figured to be safe, I just go ahead and read 3. Whatever, it's a stupid show. Hello friends, welcome to the start of a new vlog that I thought was going to be happening next week, and thank goodness I remembered. Today is the 21st of April and tomorrow is the second coming, the day all of booktube has been freaking out over. Heartstopper release day on Netflix. I have never read Heartstopper before, but I thought it would be fun to speedrun it. Basically, I wish I'd looked more closely at this before because I was committed to only doing the first book but watching the whole series. If it goes past the first book, that's fine, but like the print on this is huge. Like, this will take me 5 minutes to read. I probably could have speedrun all 4 books, but we're gonna stick to the original plan. It might still be okay because the Netflix series is a series, so there may be more seasons coming up. So maybe it'll only be the first book, but who knows. What is my pre-existing knowledge of Heartstopper? It is about Nick and Charlie, and they are falling in love. Truly, that's all I know. Like, this book has been everywhere, but I think with such a simple premise, maybe it can't get spoiled. But I'm really excited to get to it. It's this style of graphic novel where it's black and white and then one color, which I don't know how I feel about. I have complicated feelings about graphic novels in general, so we'll see. And I'm wearing my hoodie to achieve maximum coziness. I've got a candle, I've got hot chocolate. We're gonna have a good evening so that tomorrow I will be all prepared to start the show. Will I watch one right when I wake up? Maybe. Will I watch one at lunchtime? Maybe. Will I watch it all evening? Probably. I wanted this to be doing Heartstoppers in 24 hours or something like that, but I think there's supposed to be 8 episodes, so I'm gonna do it in a weekend or something. Hopefully you're seeing this on the Tuesday. That's when my upload schedule wants this to go up, but if it doesn't, I won't be heartbroken. Maybe I'll hate it. Maybe the book will be so bad that I won't want to watch the show. Could you imagine what this video would turn into? Just me bashing all of booktube? I could do it. If anyone could bash all of booktube, it's me, certainly. I got one of the Woodwick candles and I don't know how I feel about it. To me it kind of sounds like TV static a little bit, but I'm getting more into the groove. But really I wanted this update 5 seconds after starting to time myself. I thought it'd be fun to figure out how long this takes me. So it is currently 6:40 p.m. I'm not doing this to like race or anything. I'm just curious how long a pause for page count. There is no page. Oh, 270-ish page book will take me. It feels a lot bigger than that. I think the paper is just really thick and good quality. Okay, I've talked enough. It's now 6:41. Let's go. The title card, I'm super into that. That's really cool. Like a movie. Okay, I might like this book. This book is very British. Like, what is it? Chav? Chav? I don't know. There's this section here on 110 that's doing a bunch of exposition through text messages. So you actually get to read the complicated stuff. It's just really smart. I'm just really impressed. I really like it. I really like the art style too. I think that a lot of the times in graphic novels I get hung up on feeling like I'm supposed to look at the picture for a certain amount of time, you know, to take in all the intricacies of it. But the majority of these are just facial expressions, which the human brain is very good at identifying very quickly. So I feel like this might be what I've been looking for. I love this part where they're making fun of British people, like they're British making fun of British people. I can only relate it to Netflix dating shows. Someone was always like, it's just bad, isn't it, mate? Isn't it, bruv? Oh wow, that was perfect. Don't I sound like I should be on Too Hot to Handle? My inner Chloe is coming out. The neighbor's trying to deal with the dog, but I don't think it's going very well. You know what is going well? This book. I finished it at 7:18, which means it took me 37 minutes to finish, which is nothing. It reads so fast, so incredibly fast, and I'm really curious now if this is going to be the first season. I have a feeling this is all that we get, because it's very much just the Nick and Charlie stuff, like just their interactions, but it also takes place over 4 months. So there's a lot of places you could stretch that. Like Charlie has his friend who has a name, Tao, that's it. So they could have their whole relationship. You could expand on their families. I think this will be the first season, and I actually think this is kind of the perfect thing to adapt, because it's just the major plot points of their relationship, and you can fill in so much in between because there's no way to contradict the book. Like, they're in school but they don't do any schooling. They're in rugby but they don't play, they play one game. But you know, in a rugby season you'd have more than just the one game, so you could do a whole sports arc with that. I'm excited. That is not where I thought I'd be after this. I did not think I'd enjoy this as much as I did. Also, the dog, Nellie, best dog ever. So while I am fairly confident that the first season will only cover this book, I might go out right now and buy all the other ones just in case. Because what do I do if it starts going into something that wasn't in here? It'll take me 37 minutes and I'll be caught up. That's one episode. I don't know if they're hour long. That's splitting the difference. And yeah, this is the kind of graphic novel that I want, because it's just about emotion. Like, I'm thinking of other stuff I've read, like Watchmen, which is probably the graphic novel that I've enjoyed the most. But like, these panels are so complex. There is so much, like, this page takes a long time to read. A Nick and Charlie page takes 10 seconds. Not that one is better than the other, but I do think this is better for me. Taking time to look at the pictures takes me out of the flow of the story. And I didn't have that with this at all. I like the variety of panels, the way that I don't think there's a single page that's just like a grid. But also, how dare it end like that? That is half the reason I want to go out and get them, because you can't end a book like this, like that. You just can't do it, Miss Oseman. So I'm upset, but I will go give you more of my money. I'm genuinely excited for the show tomorrow. I know I shouldn't be surprised, like, this is a booktube darling, but 5 stars. I didn't say it. 5 stars. So I just checked my local bookstore to see if I could get the other books. They have 2 and 3 available, but not 4 at any of the stores, which is very strange. But also, apparently it closes at 7. I know some things adjusted their hours for the panini, but like 7? Come on, guys. I should have known. Like, I bought this for this video. I honestly didn't think I was going to enjoy it. I thought it was just going to be a fun video. But now I need it. So now, like, do I order them? Do I wait until tomorrow when I'm supposed to be watching the show to buy more books? Because, like, are the books gonna sell out because the TV show is so amazing? What do I do with my life now? Read a different book? That doesn't make any sense. This is a chaotic video. Come on, camera. It's too early for me. It's not too early for you. Good morning. Today is the day. I am in the midst of getting ready for work, but because of that work from home life, I can do something before work. I don't technically have to start right away. I can just start late and work late. So we're gonna watch episode 1. I was looking at the episode list today. There are 8 of them, and it looks like the birthday party happens in episode 3, which is the end of the first book, which is kind of a bummer, but it means we have an adventure to go to on lunch too, to pick up the other books. Are you ready to watch it? I don't know if I'm ready to watch it. Hello, I am bad at vlogging. It is the end of the workday now, but I did go out at lunch and pick up Heartstopper 2 and 3. I had a huge display of them, which I knew was going to happen, but not where I expected it to be, so it took me a really long time to find them. Could I have just asked somebody? Of course. Would I? Never. Also, I watched the first episode before work, so we're completely in Heartstopper mode now for the weekend. Well, I am. This guy, maybe not so much. Are you hungry? So anyway, let's talk about episode 1. It was really good. I watched it with my husband because, I watched it with my husband because I was interested to see his take on it. And the one thing that he said that keeps sticking with me is, like, he said he was waiting for the conflict. And I was like, yeah, this book really doesn't have conflict. Like, it has interpersonal, Nick and Charlie relating to each other. Sorry, he's so loud and hungry. And there's a bit of stuff with Ben, but like there's no overarching conflict. There's nothing we have to achieve, which does make for a very interesting tone, but I think I'm here for it. It also is very heavy on the comic influence, especially in like the first half. There's like actively panels happening and illustrations. That does calm down a bit throughout the episode, and I'm torn on how I feel about it because I like it because I just read it so I can see it more clearly, but I don't know if it's necessary. I think either you have to commit to it and like go more illustrations or leave it alone. I don't know. I'm torn on it. I don't hate it either way. I think they're doing a good job overall. They're also adding in some new stuff. There's some characters that are at the corresponding girls' school, which I think is a really good idea, and it just sort of slots in so nicely. The actors are probably the best part of it. They're the perfect level of young. I'm rewatching Glee right now because I'm a masochist, and it's really funny to see these grown-ass adults pretending to be 16-year-olds and sort of behaving like them, which just makes them seem immature sometimes or manipulative at other times, stupid a lot of the time. But for this, I think that they're perfectly cast to be young. I know in the book they're supposed to be 14 and 16, and they definitely skew a little bit older than that, but firmly in high school age, and where they're like cute little quirks make sense for them. And I'm excited to see where we go from here. So how we're gonna split up the video from this point, I'm gonna finish the first 3 episodes, everything relating to book 1. And then I'm gonna read book 2 and then watch until whenever the end of this is. And then do book 3. I couldn't get my hands on book 4, but I don't think it's gonna venture into book 4. We'll just hope and pray. Also, like, they're so pretty. Obsessed. Good morning. 'Tis Saturday, right? I don't know. I finished up episodes 2 and 3 last night, and it's really good. The one thing I am noticing is that there's very little dialogue. In the book, this is 2, I shouldn't look too closely, but there'll be a bunch of points where like the characters won't actually say anything, they'll just say like exclamation point. So a lot of the dialogue is kind of inferred, but the show is also doing a lot of just showing panels and playing music over it, which is fine. Like, I think it's a good choice. It's just not usually what I like in a show. It's all still really good. Episode 2 was the snow, which was really fun to see. Although that dog, it's a fine dog, but it's no Nelly. And then episode 3 was the party, and that looked great. We finally met Charlie's parents, so that was about time. I don't know, it's just really good. I can see this being a feel-good show or like a rewatch show when you just need something on, but you don't want conflict or stuff you have to pay much attention to. I think it's going to be really good for that. I think a lot of people are really going to enjoy the show. And it's also the true to life feeling of it, like just very much this is what it feels like to be 16 and have a crush on a boy. Because I feel like a lot of teen shows are not for teens or don't reflect real teens. Like a Riverdale isn't what high school is like. It's been a minute since I was in high school, but I assume this is much more what high school is like. There's also a trans character in it and no, as of yet, transphobia on screen, which is wild. Like I keep being on edge when Elle is on screen, but she's fine and it's weird, but nice. But anyway, I'm gonna sit here and read volume 2, which is about 300 pages. So maybe it'll take me 40 minutes. Hold it. No. Hello. Does it look like anything's changed? Because I read a whole book. I just sat here and read a whole book. I've never been a graphic novel girly, but there's something so satisfying about finishing a book that quickly. Also a book that made me cry. How did this book make me cry? I know exactly how. It had a touching mother-son moment. And those get me. This one was so lovely. It focuses much more on Nick, and I thought it was going to fall into some traps and it didn't. And it was much more, I don't want to say lighthearted, but just like they have a really cute relationship. I don't know. And I'm actually really excited to watch the TV show because I really like the Nick actor in it. I'm pointing at the TV. You can't see. There's a TV over there. Just trust me. And I'm really interested to see how he's going to handle this. Also, this book did have Elle and, what's the guy's name? Aled Last is his name. And those are both in the TV show, but they weren't in the first book, so I thought that they were added, but I think they're just pulled from this book, which makes sense. This was just a nice time. I'm trying to think if I like the first one better or this one. But then also the TV show is getting mixed up in there. My gut right now is that this one is my favorite, but that might be a recency bias since I finished it like 2 seconds ago. But it's just adorable and precious. I'm having a great time. And I think I'm literally just gonna sit here and turn on episode 4 of the show. I don't know why it's funny to me. This was literally my plan for months, but I never thought that it would go this well. This is 5 stars, by the way. Hi, it's been 2 seconds. Did you miss me? I've just got to say, this show is incredible. Like, you can really tell Alice Oseman is involved in everything. Like, Charlie's room, I always get them mixed up. It is Charlie. Charlie's room looks exactly like it does in the book. It's a weird choice sometimes, but it's 100% accurate. I'm just also really excited for like all the people that I know who love this book that they're watching the show now. There's no way to dislike this, so I'm just happy for everybody. We've got a book sighting. Look, reading A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. That's a very interesting choice too, because that's like pretty new. So episode 4 was the first episode that felt like it was totally new. It had to do with the sportsing. There were definitely parts of it that were similar. I think this sort of replaced the scene where the band was playing, but it's definitely diverging now. There's definitely new conflict, particularly from Imogen, who I don't like, but I think you're not supposed to like her. She's fun. But now I started episode 5 and it looks like we're getting back on track with book stuff. I'm sorry, but I'm calling bullshit. You cannot play a clarinet right out of the box. You've got to be sucking on that reed for at least 2 minutes. Like, technically you can see there's a reed on there, but you're not going to be able to play that. Come on, girl. I'm just trying to find any angle you haven't seen before. Is this anything? Sure. I have to get the book though. By which, of course, I mean books. I watched up to episode 6 last night, and it's varying from the book quite a bit. In terms of the order in which events happen, a lot of them are the same. Like I know I said earlier, I thought the rugby match was a replacement for the concert, but then the concert happened, but not with all of the plot points. So I figured to be safe, I just go ahead and read 3, though I don't think it's going to go into this because this involves them, the whole class, the boys in the girls' school, going on a trip to Paris. There still might be a little bit of this, like Nick's brother shows up. I could see that happening in the show in the next 2 episodes, but they certainly don't have time to go to Paris. But the show's great. It's just such a comfort show. The thing that I noticed with book 3 is it's starting to deal with tougher topics. Books 1 and 2 were very much easy breezy, and everyone said the right thing at the right time, or if they messed up, they apologized on the next page or something. Book 3 starts to have a little bit more conflict, but not much. But at least the conflict is starting to get more complex and feed into larger factors of their lives. I actually think the show is doing a bit of a better job of portraying the intricacies of the conflict between everybody, particularly with Nick. He's got his whole coming out thing that's hard for him, and you can feel it actually weighing on him. And he doesn't always do the right thing in the moment, but he does always apologize. I just love Nick. There's this one scene where Nick is leaving Charlie, and as soon as Nick is out of eye shot, Charlie does this like happy dance. It's so precious, and like definitely something I did. Also, is this something you did too? Because they sit on the floor at every opportunity. Like there's a chair right next to them, the bed right next to them, and they're sitting on the floor. Which I know is definitely something I did when I was younger, and I don't know why. Did I want to? Did society condition me that we can't sit properly? Is this just a bi girl sitting in chairs issue? Like, who knows? But I think it's fun because every character does it in the show. Every single one has done it. I just think it's really fun. Book 3 also starts going into Tao and Elle's relationship, which the show talks about right off the bat. Elle doesn't even get introduced until book 2, so it's doing a better job of making it more of an ensemble cast show. It's not an ensemble cast show, but like strong B plots. I truly think that the show is incredible. I was looking up the main actors in it. Nick's actor was young Taron Egerton in Rocket Man, which I think is why he looks so familiar. He's also just a very cute boy. I keep trying to not be weird about it because he's like underage when the show was filmed, but I think he looks like what I thought people in my high school looked like when I was in high school. I went through my yearbooks not too long ago, and like, yeah, those boys, I thought they were real cute. Not that they were ugly or anything, just like TV warps your perception of what an average 16-year-old looks like, and it's definitely not like Riverdale. And the guy playing Charlie, this is the first thing he's ever done. It was an open casting call. I watched a snippet of an interview with him because I didn't want to get spoiled for anything. But I think it was a super good choice because he doesn't feel like he's acting. Like, no one feels like they're acting, but like, Charlie's just excited that a cute boy talks to him. It's really fun and really precious, and I'm having a great time, and I'm so glad that I decided to do this video and to commit to all 3 books. In terms of the books on their own, I really like them. They're very different. The show and the books are very different, but I think you can see such a clear influence from Alice Oseman on the show that she got to expand her own world. Does that make sense? Like, this is version 1, but she was always going to get to version 2. And I'm just really happy for her that she got to see her vision come to life. I can't imagine that she's upset with it. I can't imagine anybody not loving this show, this adaptation. I could see normal people just stumbling across the show and it not being their thing, but it's just so pleasant. I think I might have to just start watching more British TV. Also, I don't think I mentioned it before, but Nick showing up in the rain, oh my goodness, you can't. That does not translate in the book. That is something you have to see on screen, and it's amazing. I'm gonna have to get my hands on Heartstopper 4 ASAP, but that can wait. Today, we gotta finish the show. Another book cited. I looked it up and this one came out in 2020, so these are just Alice Oseman's favorite books. One thing I just want to say is that I feel like Tao is pretty underdeveloped as a friend. Like, I get him as a character, but I don't understand why he and Charlie are friends. All of the other characters are at least nice and they get along with each other. Tao and Charlie always seem to have a lot of like tension between them, which is fine. Like, in the context of the show it makes sense, but because you don't get to see them before the Nick stuff, you don't get a sense that they're actually friends, or why they would actually be friends. I just feel like we needed a flashback or something. Hi, so I'm on the last episode. I've already cried once, and we're just at the scene now where I cried in the book, and it's gonna be challenging for me. If you've watched this far, mild spoilers, I think you can figure out a lot of this, but Olivia Colman's in the show, which no one knew prior to it coming out. And so as soon as she was cast, I was like, oh, she's getting cast for this scene. And they're doing it right at the end of the series. And I feel like I'm gonna cry just thinking about it if I talk about it for too long. So let's just watch it and then we'll be done. And we'll have speedrun Heartstopper. Whatever, it's a stupid show. No one even liked it. My impressions of the show immediately after finishing are, it's something special. I think that this is something that, I mean, couldn't have existed a couple of years ago. Absolutely the best thing about that show is the casting. Everyone in that thing is perfectly cast. It's really amazing. And I did really like the last couple episodes. We started going more into stuff that happened in book 2, like we did the trip to the cinema and stuff, which I really enjoyed. Overall, the show is just the first 2 seasons, but there are a couple of things like the art teacher is introduced in book 3, but he's in this one. But having the first 2 books be the first season, I think, makes sense. It was a really good time, and I'm happy that I did it. Is this the end then? I don't know if I really have anything else to say, and this video's gotta go up, so I can't ramble for too long. This is a really fun experience. I hope that you enjoyed. Let me know how you felt about Heartstopper. Is it the perfect thing to adapt / adaptation? Because it might be. Thank you so much for joining me. I will see you very soon in another video. Bye.